Emma pressed her forehead against the cool glass of her living room window, watching the bustling crowds pass by her colonial house in Millbrook. The quaint Connecticut town was alive with excitement as people hurried about, preparing for the annual Founders' Day celebration. Bright banners waved in the crisp autumn air. Children ran down the sidewalks with sticky hands and laughter in their voices, and the scent of caramel apples and fried dough drifted through the streets. But for Emma, the festive atmosphere only deepened the ache in her heart. "Mom! Mom!" exclamation mark. Tyler's voice rang from upstairs, filled with excitement. "Can we go to the park now? They're setting up the carousel." Emma closed her eyes, steadying herself before answering. "In a little while, sweetheart. Why don't you finish your homework first?" "But Mom, it's Founders' Day. Nobody does homework on Founders' Day." She forced a smile, though her 7-year-old couldn't see it. "Just 30 more minutes, okay?" Her gaze drifted to the framed photograph on the nearby shelf. Nathan's smile frozen in time, his arms wrapped around her, and a younger Tyler at the very same festival exactly 2 years ago. She could almost hear his laugh, the deep, warm sound that had once filled every room of their house. She could still smell his cologne, feel the heat of his embrace. Her mind conjured the image of Nathan lifting Tyler onto his shoulders, the boy's small hands gripping his father's hair as fireworks exploded above them. Then the memory shattered like glass. Her phone buzzed, a message from her mother. "Don't forget to take Tyler to the festival. He needs some normalcy." Emma let out a slow breath. Normalcy. As if that word had any meaning in her life anymore. She quickly typed back a response. "We're going soon." She placed the phone on the counter and turned toward the kitchen, mechanically preparing Tyler's favorite peanut butter and jelly sandwich for their outing. From upstairs, she heard his voice again, talking to someone. At first, it startled her, but she knew better. He had developed the habit shortly after Nathan's disappearance, weaving stories where his father was a secret agent, a superhero, a warrior lost in battle but destined to return home. His voice, laced with innocent conviction, often reached her ears late at night when she sat alone in the darkness, clutching the blanket that still smelled faintly of Nathan. She glanced at her laptop. The local news website was open, its headline bold and bright. "Millbrook celebrates 150th Founders' Day." Beneath it, her eyes caught last year's painful reminder. Local businessman presumed dead in car fire. Emma's stomach twisted. She quickly closed the browser. "Mom!" Tyler called again. "Can I wear my Captain America t-shirt to the festival?" "Of course, honey," she replied, though her voice wavered. "Whatever you want." She turned toward the window again. More families passed by, hand in hand, wrapped in the warmth of love and togetherness. The festival would be in full swing soon. Carnival games, food vendors, fireworks. Nathan had always loved the fireworks. "I miss you," she whispered to the quiet house. "God, Nathan, I miss you so much it hurts to breathe." "Mom, I'm ready." Emma turned just as Tyler thundered down the stairs, his eyes bright with anticipation. She wiped at the corners of her eyes, forcing a smile. She had become an expert at pretending that she was fine, that the weight in her chest wasn't suffocating, that she was whole when in reality, she was nothing but a fractured reflection of the woman she once was. "Coming, sweetheart," she called, grabbing her purse. She paused before Nathan's photograph, her fingers brushing against the glass, as if she could reach through time and bring him back. Then she turned away. Another Founders' Day festival awaited, and she had a 7-year-old to keep smiling for, even if her own heart was breaking all over again. 8 years earlier. Emma hadn't believed in love at first sight. She had always been the pragmatic type, the kind of woman who calculated risk before taking a step, who thought in numbers and logical probabilities. Love to her had been a slow and steady process, but that belief shattered the day she met Nathan. It was a crisp autumn morning when she walked into the Daily Grind, Hartford's busiest coffee shop. She had been focused on her laptop, reviewing financial projections for a client, when the sharp crash of a falling coffee cup startled her. "Oh God, I'm so sorry," a deep voice said. She looked up, and met the warmest brown eyes she had ever seen. "Here, let me help," she said instinctively, already reaching for napkins. Their hands brushed and something electric passed between them. "I'm Nathan," he said, flashing a sheepish grin, "and I swear I'm not usually this clumsy." "Emma," she replied, unable to stop, smiling, "and I don't usually help strange men clean up their coffee." That simple encounter turned into a 3-hour conversation. Nathan had just finished his master's certification in automotive repair, dreaming of opening his own shop. Emma's economics degree suddenly seemed more exciting when applied to his business plans. 6 months later, they were married in a small ceremony. A year after that, they welcomed Tyler. Her mother had been skeptical. "You barely know him, sweetheart," she had warned. "Mom, I've never been more sure of anything in my life," Emma had replied with unwavering certainty. Then came the opportunity in Millbrook. Nathan had discovered 2 failing auto shops for sale along Main Street. The numbers made sense, especially with Emma's grandmother's house in Boston going on the market. "It's perfect," Nathan had said as they stood in front of the colonial house. "Room for Tyler to grow, great schools, and that wraparound porch you always wanted." And so they had taken the leap. The first year was a whirlwind of renovations and late nights. Nathan worked alongside his mechanics, while Emma transformed their home office into the business headquarters. They thrived. "You're the brains, I'm just the grease monkey," Nathan would joke. But Emma knew better. His innovative warranty program was drawing customers from 3 counties away. Their success was undeniable. Each evening, 2-year-old Tyler would press his nose against the office window, waiting. "Daddy, look!" he would exclaim, his tiny hands leaving smudges on the glass. Nathan would scoop him up the moment he walked through the door, grinning through the grease on his hands. "Ready to help me clean up for dinner?" Emma would watch them, heart full, as they disappeared upstairs. This was happiness. This was everything. And then 2 years ago, it all began to unravel. Emma often wondered if they had been too happy, too blessed. Had they tempted fate? Had they built something so perfect that the universe had no choice but to destroy it? Because one day, without warning, Nathan disappeared, and life as she knew it was never the same again.